Hello and welcome to Merlin's Manor. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play Critter Kitchen with the solo mode. And I'll also be going over the differences for the multiplayer mode, and so you should be able to use this to learn that as well, since the game plays very similarly between solo and multiplayer. I'm not going to front load everything at the beginning of this video. I'm going to go over a basic overview of how the game plays and then get into more detail as we go along. And there'll be timestamps down below, so after you get to where you're comfortable with a certain area, if you don't want to watch the rest of the playthrough, you can skip to the next section, and then we'll have endgame scoring when I'll talk about how that works there at the end, so you'll definitely want to check that out and skip to it if you don't want to watch the entire playthrough. So let's go ahead and get in. Start by talking about the setup for the game. You're going to choose your color and get your chefs, your player board, one soup, this board here, as well as these 3 plates. You will not be needing your cards here. These are used in the multiplayer game to place out during the planning phase. You'll choose a place for your mouse to go, a place for your lizard to go, and a place for your boar to go. And then you'll all flip those over together so that you won't know where everyone's going as you're choosing where to go. You won't need those, though, for the solo mode. You also won't need your privacy shield for the solo mode, so you can set those aside, but all the rest of the things you will be using there. Then you'll choose a color for McDoggle to be, and they're going to get their 3 chefs, as well as this special player board here, and this board here, and they won't need the rest of their setup. Instead, they'll be getting these special cards, the manager deck here, a mouse deck, lizard deck, and boar deck, which you're going to use to choose where they're going to place out their chefs. You're also going to place McDoggles first on the priority track. You're going to set up this board here with the round marker on round 1, this plate on round 3, which it will go to the rightmost ingredient on the 3rd round when it gets there, and then it'll come to the 6 here after that. And then you're going to set up these just as if you were setting up a 2-player game. You're going to have the soup truck here with a bisque on it, which has this 3 value to it. Note there is an infinite amount of soup available at the soup truck, so you can take as much soup as your chef can hold. You're going to set up the garden shop next with 3 ingredients, the desert vendor with 3 ingredients. The Midnight Merchant will not get ingredients on it until you're actually resolving that during the shop phase, so you won't put any ingredients on there now, but make sure that it's on the number 2 side because it's going to get less ingredients for it here than in the 3+ player side. And then set up the Chef Academy finally with also being on the 2-player side, which is going to give it 2 ingredients to start out with, whereas in the 3+ player game, you won't have any ingredients on there to begin with. And then you're also going to flip a sous chef card and put out the sous chef. In this case, it's Snooze the Sloth. And he has the ability to start a location, add 2 additional items from the token bag to this location. That's going to be something that happens when you place him out. If you manage to choose him, or if the McDoggles chooses him, then also it will go out there. And then you're also going to set up 6 out of the 7 challenge meals, with the first one face up and the rest of them face down. You won't know what they are until you get to that round. And they're set up into 2 different days. The first day is going to have 3 rounds, and then the second day is going to have 3 rounds as well, and then you'll go later into the Critic round after that. You're going to set up a Critic card, which is the kangaroo in this game, and throughout the game, treat 6 value ingredients as 9s is the Critic's ability there. Now, McDoggles doesn't use the Critic ability. Instead, it's going to get a setup card based on which Critic you got, in this case the kangaroo, and it's going to get 2 stars in this case. However many stars it has over there, it's going to start the game with that. And then you're going to use this side of the card to determine priority for day 1, what it's going to take, and then day 2 for what it's going to take, and day 3. And down here at the bottom, you have tiebreakers for ties there. So you're going to set that off to the side there to be used throughout the game. And then you have 3 face-down rumor cards. And these can be unlocked by taking one of these rumor tokens, and you'll unlock the one that relates to it. There's also an asterisk rumor token, which is a wild, and you can choose which one you want to do. You can only take the rumor tokens if you haven't already gotten one. You'd place it on your board covering up that spot, and then later you wouldn't be able to take any more of those, nor would you really want to. And then McDoggles, if it gets a rumor token, instead of flipping a card and looking at it, it's just basically going to put it on its board, and it's going to get 2 stars if it gains it in the first day, 1 star if it gains it in the second day, and no stars if it gains it on day 3. Note, if a rumor comes out of the bag and everyone has already gotten that rumor, you simply discard that rumor and draw a new ingredient. And so that is the setup for the game. And so the basic round structure is you're going to put out your workers wherever you want to. The mouse is going to have first priority and only take one ingredient. The lizard is going to have second priority and take 2 ingredients, and the boar is going to have third priority and take 3 ingredients. So you put those out where you want to, and then you'll resolve a manager card for O'Doggles. Now, there are different types of McDoggles manager cards. Some will send all of the chefs to different locations. Like here it says the mouse to Chef Academy, lizard to the Midnight Merchant, and the boar to the Soup Kitchen. Over here, we're just sending out the boar to the location with the most challenge items, or if it's round 7, it has a different place for it to go. And then here we have mouse on the mission, sends the mouse somewhere, and if none, send to the Midnight Merchant. And then there's this tie break down here. If there's no locations that fit, or if there are multiple locations that fit, you will start with the Chef Academy in this case and move left until you find the right place. And with this one, you'll start with the Soup Kitchen and move right until you find the right place. And then anything that didn't get put out from the manager card, you'll reveal from these decks, and then you will resolve things. Now, if there is a tie in a location, you're going to go to the priority track, you're going to move that back, and then you are going to resolve the one who had priority at the time, which would have been McDoggles. They're going to take 1 item, and then you'll take an item, and then they'll take an item, and then you'll take an item until there are no items left, or both of you have taken 2 items in this case. Boars would be taking 3 if they could, and of course the mouse would only take 1. Now, if there was not a tie, let's go ahead and say that we had this situation. Then the lizard would go ahead here and take 2 items, whichever 2 that are on its priority, or if you're doing it, whichever 2 you want. And then the boar would just get whatever's left over. You don't take turns picking. In this case, they take all that they are due first, and then the next person player priority takes it. And so after you have shopped and gotten things, you will then move into the next round, reveal the card there. When you get to the end of round 3, you're going to then make up your plates, trying to score based on what they have here, and the values that you have for your ingredients are going to add together. And so let's say that a card wanted cheese and meat and something else. You could go ahead and say, well, we got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here. And let's say you'd use a soup for the last one, because you can use soup for at least one thing. If you don't have that ingredient or don't want to use that ingredient, you can even use it for a second thing, but you have to have at least one that matches something that's on the card up here. And so let's say we had these plus a soup. That would be 12 plus in value, which would give us 2 stars. If we only had 6 to 11, you'd get 1 star. And if you have 21 or more in the value, you'll get 4 stars. And then at the end of that, you'll only be able to save over 5 ingredients in your refrigerator. McDoggles doesn't worry about refrigeration. It keeps as many ingredients as it has, and so you don't have to worry about that at all. But McDoggles will discard any soup and bisques. You do not count soup and bisques, though, in that 5 max count there. And so after that, you'll discard down, and then you'll play out the next day, and then you'll do that same thing again, and then you'll go into the Critic meal scoring. You'll prepare it and go through all of these, but we'll go through that when we get to endgame scoring. I'm also going to be using the Moar Monkey, which is an optional module, which isn't really included in the solo rules, but I reached out on Board Game Geek and was told that even though it hasn't been tested, there was a way to kind of implement this, and so I'm trying that out. I've played it for a few games, and it seems to work pretty well. And so basically what the Moar Monkey does is it starts out at the soup truck, and that is one option of something that you can get when you go to the soup truck. And then when you get it, you're going to place it out with your boar on the next round, and it's going to put out 2 extra items. And then you can get 1 extra item when you collect. And this Moar Monkey also will be there for anybody to collect as an item. And so anybody can kind of grab it that went there, and then they can use it on their turn. If nobody collects it, then it will go back to the soup truck to be collected again some other time. And so we're going to be playing with that. And I was told that the way we can implement this is McDoggles will use it the same way we do. And that on the priority track, it's going to collect it the same way it would collect an allspice. And so that's what we're going to use for the ruling there. I was also told in that same thread that you can use restaurateurs in solo mode, even though it's not mentioned in the rules. Just give McDoggles 7 stars to start out with to kind of balance that. I haven't tried that out yet, and I'm not going to do it in this game just to keep things simple here. So let's go ahead and jump right on into our playthrough now. And so we got to figure out, first of all, where we're going to send all of our workers. And I'm going to want to try and get Snooze the Sloth over here somehow. I'm going to go ahead and send my lizard over here, because I'd like to be able to get him in one of these rumors. And then I'm going to send my mouse here to try and get the cheese. And I'm going to send the boar here, the Midnight Merchant, to get some random stuff, hopefully. So let's go ahead and resolve for McDoggles. It says boar boss, resolve the mouse, lizard, and boar using a single boar card. So flip over a boar card. It says add them up. Send to the location with the highest sum of ingredients. So we're going to start out with the mouse. That's the first one it says to resolve here. And we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to come here with us. And then the lizard is going to go to the one with the next most, which is going to be here. And then the boar is going, so that doesn't have any sum. It's going to have to come here where the bisque is, because that's the only ingredient that can have any kind of sum. I'm not sure if it necessarily would do that. It's kind of hard to say, actually. It might actually come here at the tiebreaker, because I don't know if that's considered an ingredient necessarily. It works that same way. I'm going to go ahead and call it that way, and I'll add into the video later if I find out that shouldn't have been considered for this card. And then we discard any cards that were used. And so now we go ahead and resolve the shopping phase. So he is going to go ahead, and I'm pretty sure first on priority is going to be the allspice out of what's there. So he's going to get that guy. And then he's going to get the bisque. And then he'll just get a soup, because there's an infinite amount of soup that can be gained from that location. Now, he is not going to use soup. He's going to discard them at the end of the challenge phase, but he grabs them in case we were going to be there anyway. So then we move on to here. We're going to resolve priority track. The mouse has first priority. His mouse has first priority, so we're going to move that down, and it's going to probably get the 4 cheese, because it wants bread, fish, or cheese. The first thing it's going to look to is actually rumors, but there aren't any there. Then it's challenge ingredients, cheese, and then we're going to come across, and the first challenge ingredient is going to be the 4 there, as I expected. And then I'm just going to grab the 3 cheese. Then we come over here. It's going to look for challenge ingredients. There's bread, and so that's what it's going to grab. And for the second ingredient, neither of these are challenge ingredients. Oh, and it gets a star for the cheese and a star for the bread. And so it's going to look to its next tiebreaker, which is probably going to be the 3 here. Yep, because it goes on down 7, 5, 4, 3. Then 2 is the final one. It's not a challenge ingredient, so no stars for that. And then these are going to shift on over to here. Let's handle the Midnight Merchant. We're just going to get all 3 things that come out, whatever they happen to be. Huh. Wow. So we're going to get all the rumors this round, it looks like, unless we choose just not to get one over here. So let's go ahead and get 5 wine and both of these rumors. And so what we're going to do now with these rumors, I'm going to definitely put this one on the question mark and flip that. Meat Fanatic. During final scoring, we're going to double the quality of your meat course, and if there's a spice on there, it will double. And so that's pretty handy right there. And then either one of these we can grab. I'm going to grab, you know what, I'm just going to put that on here and reveal this. Super Chatty, 1 star for each rumor token you've collected. Nice. And of course, there's a maximum of 3 there because you can't collect any twice. So nice. And then we're just going to go ahead and grab the final one. Tender, 3 stars if the highest valued ingredients served in your leftmost and rightmost course add up to exactly 10 before spice. So I have 7 and 3 here as an example there, adds up to 10. So leftmost and rightmost. So if we wind up with this at the end, we want a 5 bread in essence. Okay, my second thing is to get Snooze the Sloth. This is going to go away, and then these are going to go to the soup truck. And that is the end of our first round. Let's hope that we manage to play well enough. I mean, we got all the rumors taken care of. We just need to start getting ingredients. And so the next thing to come out is going to be Carol the Koala. And then we're going to be focusing on Tasty Tapas, which wants carrots, mushrooms, and bread. We got 6 cheese, 4 meat, and 2 wine. At the Desert Vendor, we have spicy bread, 6 carrot, and 6 fish. In the Chef Academy, we've got 3 fish and spicy meat. And Snoot the Sloth at the start of the location will add 2 additional items from the token bag to that location. I'm kind of feeling like sending him over here, but we might not get Carol the Koala as likely. Could also send him here. Let's figure out where we want to put our smaller people. I still like the idea of trying to get this 6 cheese to upgrade there, so I'm going to put my mouse there. And I'd love to be able to get both of these, and so I'll put my lizard there. Yeah, let's go ahead and put our sloth over here. And a new one of these comes out. And we'll go to the Midnight Merchant with the boar. See how that all works out for us. So now we're going to flip over the card here. Resolute Reptile. Send the lizard to the location with the most 6 value ingredients. So we're going to be fighting over here. I hope they don't send their mouse here. It's as if none we'd send to the Midnight Merchant, but this has 2 6 value ingredients. So now we're going to flip for the mouse. More flavor. Send to the location with the most allspice. Nothing has allspice on it. We just have regular spice. And so instead, it's going to start with the tiebreaker down here, which is the Chef Academy. And so the mouse is going to go there. If there's already one of its characters here, it would start going left until it found a place it could go. Now we got the boar. Scrape the barrel. Send to the location with the lowest sum of ingredients. So we got 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, or 3 over here, but there's somebody already there. So it's going to come here and send that guy out there, which is not good. I was wanting to be able to get the Moar Monkey. So he's going to pop out 2 new ingredients here. And then going to resolve. And so it's going to want to, first of all, get rumors. There are none. Then it's going to go after challenge ingredients. We've got carrots, mushrooms. It's not going to want meat. So it's going to go after, first thing it's going to go after is the carrot, which is a 7. And then it's going to go after this, which is a 6. And it's going to take the 3 off of here because whenever it gets a better ingredient, it's going to put it on there. And so you got carrots and the mushroom so far. And there's no bread or fish. And so let's keep on moving down here to see what it would grab next. We got one of these, but of course it's not theirs. It's allspice, 7, spice, 5. Oh, allspice is going to be the Moar Monkey. So it's going to grab that again. And it's grabbed, that's its 3rd thing to grab. So it gets one more thing. And that's just going to be the 4 meat. So it is grabbing a lot thanks to the Moar Monkey. We need to try and get that Moar Monkey back from it. So here I'm going to get an upgrade to my cheese. And I want to keep my favorites up there. I'll keep the rest down here and we'll kind of switch out depending on how the dishes pan out. And then we're going to come here. I get first in priority, so I get first pick, then it'll get pick. I'm going to go ahead and go with a 6 fish. And then it doesn't consider carrots anymore as a challenge ingredient, so it's going to come here. But it is going to get the 6 carrots because that is the 2nd thing in its priority. Oh wait, no, it's going to go after the bread spice because that is a challenge ingredient. So it's going to grab bread spice and get that. And then I'm going to get the 6 carrots. And nothing left for its 2nd choice. And so Midnight Merchant. Now we got a 7. Although for us, throughout the game, we're going to be treating 6 value ingredients as 9s. 6 is actually better than the 7. And we actually just get these 2 because we can't take that. So we got those and have to come back a little empty-handed. And then it's going to come here. It still wants fish if there's fish, and there is. So that's going to be its first choice, is to get the fish. And so far it is 6 for 6 on those challenge ingredients. At the start of the location, though, we were supposed to put 2 extra things out. Let's see if it would have taken... Nope, it still takes the fish. So now we get to choose what we want, and we want this person for sure for our first choice. This is after your last pick. If you are at the back of the priority track, gain a star. We're currently at the back of the priority track. Got some carrots, but it wouldn't hurt to get more carrots. We don't have any of these, so that's going to be my 2nd choice. And I feel like getting more carrots because meat hasn't come up yet, and we don't have any meat. Wine hasn't come up yet, and we have wine. Yeah, that makes sense. Now we're gonna remove Snooze the Sloth from the game, and we got Carol the Koala coming in. And these all move to the soup truck. Oh, should have one soup to start out with here. I forgot to put it back on my board. Low scoring stuff this round. Until we get to the mushroom, that's the 6. And a 3 mushroom. And our zoo chef is Penny the Penguin. After your last pick, pick an additional item from the soup truck. May include soup. Let's see what we're going to be scoring for. It's probably got meat on it somewhere. Nope, no meat. We got wine. So we know all of these are going to have meat in them. Or at least 2 of them are going to have meat in them. Of course, if it's the final ingredient, it'll get covered up on the last one. So what do we want to focus on becomes the question. I think we're going to send my lizard there because I'd like to get that and that if I can. And that's my goal there. I'm going to send my boar here to collect just a bunch of stuff, hopefully. Or do I want to send her there? Because I'm at the back of the priority after her last pick. I'll gain a star. I don't want to lose. I don't want to risk the boar coming here, actually. So I'm actually going to send that one there. Maybe send the mouse here. And keep the boar going to Midnight Merchant. So we'll discard these. New McDougald's card. Prestige Pursuit. Skip this card if there are any 6+ value. There is, so we're going to skip this card. Mouse on a mission. Send the mouse to the location with the most 6+ value ingredients. And so it's going to come either here or here. They both have the most. And so it's going to start at the soup truck and come right to here. It's a shame because I really wanted that. It's like I needed bread anyway, so I didn't even think about that. I need bread. And so there's nothing for the lizard, so we're going to flip this. Back to school, send to the Chef Academy. Don't know how I feel about that. And add them up. Send to the location with the highest sum of ingredients. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but that doesn't matter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, but that doesn't matter. It's going to come here to the soup truck, and it should actually be there because it's got 2. And so it's going to put out 2 new ingredients. And the Moar Monkey. And so, what do I want? I get 2 things. I'm going to get the Moar Monkey. And maybe just grab some meat. Or should I grab the bisque? I'm going to grab the bisque, actually. And then, after my last pick, if I was at the back of the priority track, which I am, I get a star. And then she is gone. He is going to get 3 things. And those 3 things are going to be... See, is there a mushroom, a wine, or a fish? There's a wine. Actually, he's going to get 4 things because of the Moar Monkey. So that's 1. And then... Oh, actually, the first thing he would get is the rumor. And then he would get the wine. And the rumor gets it 2 stars because it's the first day. So we got that. The wine, that's 2 things. And then allspice would be next, but there isn't any. 7 regular spice. The 3rd thing and the 4th thing is going to be the 4 meat, it looks like. Yep. And let's see. That's all it's going to do. It now has all 7 ingredients. I don't know that I've ever seen it not get all 7 ingredients. Well, I know I haven't seen it. I don't even know it's possible for it not to get something for everything. Okay, we're going to then return the boar. And we're going to look here. And they're first in priority, so they go to the back and they pick something. Oh, what did they grab? They grabbed the wine, so there's that. So, doesn't want either of those, so it's going to grab the 6 wine. As I figured it would do. So I guess I'm just getting 2 bread. Coming here, nobody came here, so we can move all these to there. Come to the Midnight Merchant. No rumors, please. No rumors. I get all 3 of these. Got some meat there. Then we're going to come here. I am first in priority, so I get to go first. And I'm going to try and figure out what it wants. It's going to go after the 6 mushroom. Oh, we're supposed to have covered up this here, and I haven't been moving the marker. So actually, it's only going after the mushrooms. It wants that 6 mushroom. I just have to decide how much I want Penny the Penguin. So if I go after that 6 mushroom right now, I will not be able to get Penny the Penguin because it's going to go after that next. I think I just deal with not getting the 6 mushroom. As nice as it would be to count that as a 9 for one of these things. I am actually only getting 1 mushroom right now. And there's 2 mushrooms out there. Decisions. I can get one of the 2 of these. I can't get both. It is impossible to get both. I can get the 3 mushroom later. I'm going to play for the future. Get the Chef Academy Zoo Chef here. Penny the Penguin. Because it's going to be an extra 2 things. Basically an extra 1 thing because I'm giving up 1 thing. And I'll get to pick something from the soup truck later. That just seems like better for future me here. And so it's going to grab this. There's no question about that. It wants a mushroom, and the first mushroom on the list is the 6. And then for my second choice, I would have gotten a star anyway because we're going to get one of the 2 mushrooms either way. And I feel like grabbing the 3 mushroom is the better thing for my second choice. And then its second choice, probably that 3 carrot because it's got all the challenge stars. There's no Zoo Chef, no Allspice, no 7, no Spice, no 5, 4, or Bisque. So yes, 3. That's what it's going to grab there. And everything is maxed out here as far as everything's better up here than down here. And I'm just going to try and keep as best I can. This never works out for me. Let's keep all the spices with their areas. And stack some of the ingredients over here for now. And then these are going to go away. Might as well just put it there because it's about to come out there. And we go into the challenge phase, where we are going to try to make the best dishes we can for these. And we may serve all 3, or we may focus on serving 2 of them. It's going to get all these stars. So 3, 4, 5 turns into a 5. And then the other 3 here, we can just go ahead and convert these into a 5. And actually, we'll go ahead and convert that all the way up to a 10. So it's got 12 stars so far. Now, what can we make? It's ultimate melt. We're going to want some bread on there. We're going to want some fish. That fish is going to be worth 9 because of the kangaroo. So we're at 9, 10, 11 so far. And we want cheese, which this is also a 9. So we're at 18, 19, 20. We are at 20, which is 1 away from what we need. Only has slightly better bread. I'm going to go ahead and put some soup on there because you can add soup to any meal to bump it up. So we got 18, 19, 20, 21. It's going to get us 4 stars for that one. And then on this one, we need carrots. Again, if we did this, it's going to become a 9. So let's go ahead and do that. This is 3, so 9, 10, 11, 12. We don't have any bread. And so our option here is to go ahead and toss that on there. We're at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, sorry, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're at 15 there. Actually, I'm rethinking some things over here. That 6 is going to become 9 times 2 is 18. That's 18. 19, 20, 21. We're going to do that actually to get the 4 stars. So 6 becomes a 9 times 2 is 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 actually. 9. Keep changing my mind here, I think. No, that's fine. That's fine that way. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then over here, we can do 5, 10, 15. We'll have 5 things left over. So, just to recap, that's 9, not 6, because of the kangaroo. Times 2 is 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So it's going to get 4 stars. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, no, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for 2 stars. So we got 4, 5, 6. And this last one is going to be 5, 10, 15 for 2 stars. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8 stars there, plus the one we already had is 9. Not a bad one. We have exactly 5 ingredients left over, which is the most we can. Soup goes away, and all the rest go back into the bag. And I'm just going to leave all these like this, I guess. Now we move into round 4. This is going to go right there to remind us to cover up the last one there at the end. And Street Eats Challenge. It's going to be meat, carrots, and wine. Give this a good shuffle. Oh, all these were supposed to go back to the beginning. Okay, there we go. Now I got to figure out where we're putting all our peoples. Out comes the zoo chef, Rudy the reindeer. Can hold 3 things. Star location for each carrot Rudy picks. You may gift it to another player of your choice and gain a star. Okay, so Penny the penguin can get an additional item from the soup truck after my last pick. You don't actually have to be at the soup truck to do that. You're just going to get the item from the soup truck. I feel like coming here with the penguin, hoping for the best. It's going to go after meat if it hasn't already gotten it, but it may already get it. Anyway, I'm going to take the Moar Monkey with the boar to the Midnight Merchant. Put that guy there. And probably this guy here. So let's see what McDoggles is going to do. Quality over quantity. The mouse we're going to send to the location with the highest value ingredient, which is going to be the 6 here. We're going to fight over that. I figured that would happen. And then Lizard's second highest, which we're going to fight over here. It's actually worse that we're fighting over there, I think. No, actually, well, that's bad. And the boar is going to go to the third highest. We have a 3. It's going to go here. And I did everybody, so we don't have to resolve any of these cards. Nobody went to the soup truck, so we're going to resolve here. It's first, so it's going to get first pick. And its first pick is going, let's move these down so we don't think these are in play anymore. We leave the symbols up so we know what was already on challenges. And so it's going to go after, first pick is going to be challenge ingredient, which there are no challenge ingredients there. It's going to be meat, carrot, or wine. So then it's going to go after a 6 ingredient. There is no 6 ingredient. Sous chef doesn't apply there. Allspice is its first choice. And I wanted the allspice, but it took it. So I'm going to settle for the 5 fish. And then it's going to get the 3 cheese. And then after my last pick with Penny, I get to choose something from the truck over here. I guess I'll just get the bread. Or, because we got meat. We got plenty of meat. We got some carrots. Or I can get the bisque, which basically is like bread, but it's worth 1 more point. Let's get the bisque. Why not? Okay, so Penny is now gone. We come here. I get first choice this time and move back in priority. And with first choice, I'm going to get the 6 bread. And then that mouse is going to grab. There's no challenge ingredients up there. And so it's going to go all the way down to the 2 on the list. And it's going to then look at the bottom here for the tiebreaker, which is bread, carrot, cheese, then fish is the first one that applies. So it's going to grab that. And then we're going to come here. We're going to put out the 3 for the Midnight Merchant, plus 2 for the monkey. And we can get 4 things. And I already know I want the monkey as one of those 4 things. 3 wine, maybe the 2 wine, and the 3 bread. Back we come. We come over here. I'm going to get this as my first choice, Rudy the reindeer. And then I'm going to get some spice for my mushrooms, even though I don't have any mushrooms yet. I will get mushrooms. I am confident of that. And then it will get these 3 ingredients, which it has gotten meat. So that goes there. Let's put these on the boards. Just start stacking them up here for now. Okay, moving into round 5. Coastal Fusion Challenge. Fish, cheese, and carrots. Oh, that would have been here as well. Oh well. I don't think anybody was going to focus on that. Yeah, because that would have come after the bread it got, so yeah. Some good wine there. We both have that rumor, so that's going to be useless. Sid the Platypus is the next one coming out. Before your first pick, if Sid is alone, gain 2 items from the token bag. And I need to remember to try and get carrots and then gift them to somebody. So I'm going to take Rudy the reindeer and put him right there. And I'm going to put this carrot on there just to hope I remember to gift it and get a star. Because I've forgotten to do that in a previous game. So I also want to come here and try and get that if I can. Or do I want the 7 meat a little more? I want the 7 meat a little more. I'm going to do that. And I guess I'm sending him with the Moar Monkey to the end there. Is that my best choice? I think it is. Okay, so let's see what McDoggo is going to do. Resolve the mouse, lizard, and boar using a single mouse card. Mouse Master. Shooting for the stars. Send to the location with the highest valued challenge ingredient. So the highest valued challenge ingredient. So we've got 7 wine or 7 meat. It doesn't include that as a challenge ingredient because it's already gotten that one. So it's going to focus on the 7 wine. And then the next one, so it's going to look for, let's see, there's no bread out there. There's a fish, there's a 3 fish, there's a 4 carrot. So it's going to come here. And then the boar is going to come there. And so we're going to come here, we're going to get 3 things. That. I'm going to immediately gift it to the other player to get a star. This should be out. Let's go ahead and get some cheese. Maybe? Yeah, we don't need bread. Get some cheese. Well, we need a mushroom. That'd be 3 things, though, if I did that. Yeah, sounds fine. And then, actually, do we really want the mushroom? You know what? I'm going to get the meat, because mushrooms haven't even come up yet. I'm going to use the bisque. It's worth more. So coming here, it's going to grab the 7 wine for sure. Don't even have to think about that one. And then I'm going to get the 5 meat and the 4 bread. Maybe I didn't want the meat then. Okay, this one I'm going to come away with the 7 meat for sure. Well, I could keep it from getting a challenge ingredient, but I'm not going to. I'd rather have the 7 meat going into the final round. So it's going to get this. It would get this, but it doesn't need it. It just goes away. Nobody's at the Midnight Merchant, but we still put the 3 out. And then they're going to immediately come over here. And then because of the Moar Monkey, we put 2 more things out. Oh, and it got a star for the fish that it just grabbed. So on here, it's going to prioritize, first of all, carrots and cheese. And so it's going to grab 4 carrot over the spice carrots, I believe. Now it's going to look at this. Day 2. Spice carrot is actually coming before the ingredient carrot. And it does get 1 for that. But then it's just going to go after the 4 carrot anyway. And do that. And then we're going to get 4 things. It's going to be Sid, 7 bread, fish spice, and the Moar Monkey for our 4 things. Rudy is gone now. Sid comes in. And then we're going to move into round 6. Comfort food. We're going to cover up the meat. And we've got wine and bread. All these come over here. That goes away. Got a new bisque. And our last zoo chef is Queenie the bee. After your last pick, if Queenie was the first to pick from this location, gain an item from the token bag. And remember, Sid's, if alone, will gain 2 items from the token bag. So I need to guess where they're not going to send somebody. I'm just going to guess the Midnight Merchant because oftentimes that's the least likely place for them to go. Kind of like the idea of being able to get some spice here. Do I send the mouse just to get 1 spice, or do I try and get 2 spice out of the situation? I'm not going to be too greedy. I'm going to send the mouse. Maybe, just maybe, I'll get 1 spice. Although that 4... You know what? I'm going to send the lizard. Hope for the best. And then 6 fish would be nice. Let's put the mouse there. And then the boar. Gonna go to the Chef Academy and hope for the best, I guess. I still would like to get Queenie if I can. At least like a chance to get Queenie. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let's send the mouse location with the highest sum of ingredients. It's definitely going to be here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. And then lizard 2 with the one with the second highest. We got 9 or 7, so it's going to go here. And third highest sum is going to be here, actually. That's an interesting way things panned out. That was perfect. Okay, so its mouse is going to go after cheese, wine, or bread, first of all. Bread. Just going to grab the bread. We're just going to give it a star there. And then we're going to come here, and I'm going to get allspice, and actually this 4, I believe. As nice as that carrot spice would be, I want the 4 wine. And then we are first here, so we can take whatever we want out of these options, which is going to be the 6 fish. It's going to get this, which is going to go in the leftmost. It's going to get 1 star. And this carrot, which does not help it up there. And we get put out 3 things here. Wine, bread, and a fish spice. We have fish spice already. Unless we want an extra one going into the final round, which we can keep 10 things going into the final round. This is alone before your first pick. Gain 2 items from the token bag. So, well, this is useless for us. And the 6 wine. 5 bread would give us multiple options going into the last bit. I don't know that we want that, though, necessarily. I'm just going to get the fish spice. So we can use one this round and have one for next round. Then over here, it is first in priority. We put out 2 things. And then it's going to go after the cheese first and foremost. Just put that there so we remember that we picked one for him. And then what's going to be its next choice? It's going to go after the wine. Do I try and grab it just to keep him from getting it? Robs him of a star, basically. He's not going to get the zoo chef. He's going to go after the 6 fish. We don't necessarily need, although it might be nice. I got a 6 fish already. Of course, it will up his fish game quite a bit. Either way, I don't think I'm focusing on that. Get that, that, and then maybe that. Could be my play. Let's get the wine. Is our first choice. Oh, this should be moving back, right? Then it's going to grab this. Then I'm going to grab this. And then it's going to probably grab this. Let me see. 6, sous chef, allspice, 7, rumor. Yeah, it's going to grab that. Just putting it there so we remember. So it's grabbed its 3 things, so it's gone. We can put those out in a second. And we get 4 things because of this guy. We're at 2 so far. Third thing, fish, or I can go bread, or I can go meat. Guess we'll just go with the bread. Okay, Sid is gone. We got Queenie now. Going into the challenge here. It gets its stars, which is 7. It's at 20. Let's go ahead and put these on its board. 5 goes up there. The 6 goes up there. I have to double check what else is supposed to go up on here at some point. Probably bread is higher. Actually, no. 3 is the highest bread it's got so far. These are going to come on over here. So, let's do our part of the challenge meal now. First one, we're going to get lots of meat on here probably. Remember, we want our outside ones. Oh, during final scoring, meat's going to double. Definitely want to keep this 7. We only get 1 ingredient per section unless a critic tells you otherwise or a card tells you otherwise. And so we need our best single ingredients out there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably want to reserve that for later. Fish, we've got 10 sitting there already. Cheese, 10, 11, 12. Carrots. Put carrots out there. We get 10, 15, 16, 17. Not ideal. Standing for the carrots there. 9, 10, 11, 12. We got lots of wine going on over here. I want to reserve the 4 wine over, I think, because it'll go with the 6 bread. Or do I reserve a 4 bread and have a 6 wine? I can see that going either way. Cheese. Let's go ahead and do a 7, 8, 9 on the cheese there. Let's see what we got here. So we got 10, 15, 10, 19, actually 21, 22. 10, 19, 22. That's going to get us 4 stars. We can hold over the carrots maybe. Wine on that one. There's our one I don't know. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 17. Okay, way over there. So I need to just make a choice at this point. I think it's to go ahead and do that. Actually, no, I'm going to do this. 6 and 4 adds up to 10. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 18, 19, 20. You gotta be kidding me. Short by 1 there. If I do that. There we go. Then we got 10, 20, 3. We got 10, 19, 21, 22, 23, or 22. So yeah. 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 4, 8, 12. That was a good round. 10, 11, 12. Trade these in. We have 22 and they have 20. This bisque goes away. As does this bisque. And we have 1 bisque left over to try for... We can't use the bisque in the Critic's meal, but we can use it to get most soup. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 exactly. It's as if I planned it that way. Although we are missing one of our courses. So we are going into round 7. We've got 10 things stored over. They have a whole bunch of stuff. We want to get our meat up as high as we can so that we can really take advantage of Meat Fanatic. Super Chatty, 1 star for each rumor token we've collected. We've already collected 3, so we're going to get 3 for that one. And Tender, 3 stars of the highest valued ingredients, add up to 10 on these outside rows here. So a 6 and a 4 will definitely do that. Probably how we're working that one out. Ooh, I like the idea of that mushroom if I can get it. Now, we don't use a Zoo Chef in the last round. Instead, it's going to be an allspice. And also, when the Moar Monkey goes out, it's going to become an allspice if anybody collects it. And we will only be able to use 1 of each ingredient plus a spice for the Critic's meal. I think we are well set up for the Critic meal. So I'm going to send this guy here first and foremost because I really want to get that. Second, I'm going to send Queenie to here, I think, to try and get this. Send the lizard there, maybe? So I'm going to send the lizard here. And we're going to send the boar there. In theory, we should have what we need. Flip over McDougald's card. Lizard Leader. Resolve the mouse, lizard, and boar using a single lizard card. Back to school. Send to the Chef Academy. And so we're going to be sending the mouse to the Chef Academy. And then we're going to send the lizard. We're going to start with the soup truck. And it's going to go there. Oh, this is going to be a really weird one. And then the boar is going to go here. So I have first priority. And so I'm going with my first priority to take 6 meat because I can turn it into 9 with the kangaroo. I think that's going to be my best value. And that's going to move back in priority order. Now it's going to take something And it's going to want whatever will best help it towards the critic's meal here. So if there's anything that's going to increase a value here, there isn't. And so then the next thing it's going to do is going to take a 6, and then an allspice, then a 7, and then a spice, then a 5. So it's going to take this 5 fish. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take a bisque just to help with the soup at the end. And then it's going to take the 4 fish. And come here, it's going to take all of these things. And then I'm going to take this. And then we're going to come to the Midnight Merchant. 2 extra things. Ooh, lots of good options here. I'm going to take the allspice, carrot spice, and the carrot. And then I just have to grab some random thing. And these are going to go here. It's going to choose first. So Queenie will not be the first to pick. It's going to choose first, and I'm pretty sure it's getting the allspice, because that's going to best improve. Yep, it's grabbing the allspice, which is what I really wanted from that location. Don't think anything else helps me at all, so I'll just take the 5-1. And I'm going to have to figure out what it has over here, because I've made a mess of everything. Does it have a better meat than 4? It does not. So it's going to have that. Does it have a better bread than 3? It does not. And we got carrot spice. Just trying to make sure that there's no improvements to be made. Does not look like it. And it's got bread spice. And then the allspice is going to go on the one that has the highest value, which is 7. And then this one, yeah, so it's going to go on there. There's no other spices. So that is its situation. Our situation over here. We wanted these 2 to add up to 10, so that's why we did that, even though we could have gotten slightly better value. I think that's the way we want to do it. Do we have, yeah, because we don't have a 6 for the wine. Okay, we're going to lose the bread, but that's okay. And then we got bread. Oh, wait, we have bread spice. We're not going to lose the bread. We got no more spices out here, and those are the best of the barrel, isn't it? Nope. One more. That's the best we have to offer. Okay, so now we go into final scoring. The way this works is you add 1 ingredient plus any spices that you can add, one to each one. And then if there were any critics that allowed something different, or rumor cards that allowed something different, you could add things on there, but there aren't. And remember, still throughout the game, we're going to treat 6 value ingredients as 9s. And so we're going to go for the most soup first of all. We have 6 soup, and the way this works is McDonald's does not collect soup. We're just going to grab 1 random tile from the bag. And that's not going to work because it's a rumor token. 1 random one that has value to it. 3 there. And so if we have more soup than the 3, we'll get a star, and they won't get a star. If we had equal, we'd both get a star, but we got 6. So we get the star for most soup. And then we're going to go to all 7 courses. We have all 7 courses, so we get a star. They have all 7 courses, so they get a star. Best of each course now. We've got 8 over here in the bread course. So we will get a star because they only have 6. Here we have 6 on the carrots, but they have 14 on the carrots because of the spice there, so they get a star. 5 cheese for them. We have 6 cheese, so we get a star. Oh, I forgot to put this allspice out. 14 for the fish. Sorry, 12 for the fish. No, sorry. That's a 9. 18 for the fish. They have 12 for the fish, so we get a star there. This is actually going to be, for now, it's going to be 18, which we beat their 8. So we get the star. 14 here versus 6, we get the star. And here we have 18, they have 14, we get the star. Then we're going to go to scoring rumors. For McDonald's, it's going to get 1 for this one here, because there's a dot right there. There's no dots on either of these. It will use this during final scoring, just like we do. And then we're going to score 1 for each rumor token we collected, which is going to be 3. And then we're going to score 3 if the highest valued ingredient served on either side before spice these add up to 10, which they do. So we get 3. So we can turn those in. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to bonus scores. If there was anything on here or elsewhere that would give us bonuses, we do that now. Then we go into final scoring. And in order to do that, we move everything off our board. And we'll take our mouse. And we're going to move it along here based on what each of these scores. Keeping in mind the meat fanatic is going to times meat by 2. And keep in mind the kangaroo throughout the game, we're going to treat 6 value ingredients as 9s. And so we got 4 times 2 is 8 there. And then 6 here. And then 6 here. Then the fish is going to be, I'm sorry, not 6. Those are each 9, so I add 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then this is going to be 9 times 2 is 18. To 44. This is going to be 9 times 2 is 18 times 2 is 36. So 50, 60, 70, 80. So we come around there. We're going to get a 10 for coming around there. And then this one here is going to be 14. 24. And then this one here is going to be 9 times 2 is 18. To 42. We were 1 short of being able to get 1 more star out of it. That's okay. We've gotten 6 more stars for a grand total of 52 points. Nice. Now let's see what they're going to be able to pull off here on their final scoring. Take their mouse. They're going to get 3 times 2 is 6. They're going to get 14 there. Brings them to 20. 5 there brings them to 25. 6 times 2 is 12. Brings them to 37. 4 times 2 is 8. Times 2 again is 16. 53. And then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 14 there. Going to go to 73. It's going to get 11 points. So there you have it. They scored 34. They had a really low scoring game. I almost pity that they don't get to count that. They just get a couple stars at the beginning of the game. And that is a very powerful one if you manage to get those 6s in there. So there you have it. That is how you play Critter Kitchen. I hope you've enjoyed this video, helped you learn how to play this game, and encourage you possibly to get this game if you were thinking about it. And as always, I hope you have a great week and keep on gaming.